Hello and welcome to Beautiful Literature with me, Chamaka. I am happy, so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining. If you're new here, I want to let you know that we have been around on Fathers of Nations, and we've been doing quite a bit, and I hope you can check it up, the other videos we've been doing, and see what it is we've done, the analysis of the chapters from chapter 1 to chapter 14. We've done the analysis of the themes. We've also done the analysis of the styles. And now we're on characterization part 2. We've already done part 1 of the characterization, character and characterization. And therefore, we want to have this discussion today as we wind up on that discussion. And today we are going to look at a few other characters. And we'll begin with Pastor Chamaka, Chineke Chamaka. And we know who Chamaka is. And he's a very funny character who is one began as a reckless driver who finally, after an accident, decided to become a pastor. In his preaching, he rubbed the government the wrong way and he was imprisoned for 2 weeks, and then he lost his license to preaching. And out of that, now he meets with Mr. Longway, who gives him a new lease of life. And so we meet him, and there's so much talking, so much going on around him. And I want to hope that you have adjectives that can describe him. One of them that describes him is charisma. He's charismatic, even in his preaching, even in the way he does his things, even in his driving, assuming that can be considered as charismatic. He has energy, he's charismatic, he's on top of things. He doesn't, whatever he does it on the higher end. And so even his sermons, even how he was successful in bringing people to listen to him from nothing as a pastor to whatever he was becoming, his charisma was going out of his way, was going for him, not out of his way. Now, we also can talk about him being critical, one who is able to question and challenge things and be able to just, interrogate issues. He's not the kind that will just keep quiet and say it is well when is not well. And so we come across him challenging the government and wanting to find out, this president, why is he doing this? Why is he not responding to issues? Why did he just do a memo, And he's even able to acquire some private documents and responses from the office, from the government. And of course, now that comes from someone who is daring, someone who is bold. We can say he's daring, he's bold, he's able to just go out of his way and do things that normal people will not do. Even as we talk about him being very, very hateful, and you can see how he has issues with this government and he doesn't like them at all. And even his responses to them, his apart from the people that he cares for, that is his brother, we don't see him being kind to anyone, and including his own members, who will rebuke very comfortably and reprimand them for not looking as bold as you would want them to become. We also can talk about him being forthright or being frank or being blunt. He will not beat around the bush. Even with his members in church, he will tell them as it is and ask them questions and expect answers from them as it should be. And so there's so much to talk about this character, and I'm hoping that looking at the adjectives that is provided to you, you can be able to allocate and assign him some of them. Let's move on to Engineer Saif Tahir, and who is we know that he's an engineer who is placed in Libya, that is in North Africa, and he's employed by Tripoli Ministry of Defense, and he's very excited about being in the Feast of Allah program or project where they deal with nuclear weapons. And the other thing is that he's also interested in a girl, and when he tries to get that girl to go out with him, the girl says no, not because she doesn't like him, but she wanted him to persuade her, and he did not. He actually didn't take the no very kindly, and so the issues just escalated, and by the end of the day, he ended up being very frustrated. And so when you look at him as a character, you realize that he's one who is very egocentric. He actually has such a huge ego. He actually thinks he's the best the world has ever gotten, and he is does not understand why his junior, this Miss Mahmoud, does not say yes to him. Actually, she's a million miles down the food chain and in career, and so why would this young girl, small girl, very, very, very low person, not say yes to me, a whole me, Engineer Tahir? So that is an egocentric person. We also are told he's because of his even wisdom, his wisdom, his further education. Of course, that means he's intelligent and he's educated, he's knowledgeable. That is something for him. And also we also are he's emotional in the sense that even when all these things are going on around him, he's not able to go out of his disillusionment. He's not able to go through his frustration, and he's feeling offended, feeling let down by the president because of demolishing the Feast of Allah, because of his eye and all that. He's not able to deal with that. So his emotions, emotionally, he's not strong. He stays down as a depressed person, as a suppressed person. He's not able to deal with that. And again, we also can consider him as vengeful, and because of his attempt to revenge is what from the saying no is what actually has caused him more trouble. If only he was more forgiving, he probably wouldn't be here and dealing with all the issues that you're dealing with. And of course, he's one person who, even we are not told much about his family, but I can't imagine what his family would have to deal with when you have that kind of a member of the society. And we also find him very loyal. He's one person who was a great supporter of the president. Even when the president was not on the right, he really wanted the president to be given a chance. And he had so much faith in the president until when he decided that he will not do the right thing as far as engineer is concerned. So we can find him. If he really, the president didn't change his mind, we probably would still be having the good vibes going on around him. And so that is it on Engineer Tahir. I want to hope that we can continue to check him up and allocate him assign him some adjectives to describe him. Let's have a look at Pamela. And Pamela is the wife to Dr. Folabi. She's a white lady, and her family lives in Boston, but now we see that so much of it is in Africa. And but later on she decided to divorce the husband because the husband has not sided with her and thrown out the family at night. And of course the family had come to disturb her peace, and also that brings her out quite a bit of her character traits as one who is decisive. She makes up her mind on the things she wants to do and follows through with that. Like, for example, on the issue of getting children, she's decisive. All these years, she has not been moved or changed her mind. She decided, I don't want children, and sticks to that. She's also a bit insensitive. You realize that even the way she deals with these family members, as much as she's upset, if it was her own family, would she have said that they should be thrown out in the night? And she's also very, what do you call it? Someone who doesn't really care. She's insensitive to the cares, to the feelings of Dr. Folabi. How do you even just divorce someone because of, do you care about how he's feeling about this whole issue? Because even him, he was equally disturbed about it. He was actually equally bothered by the family responding that way. And so when you now decide to divorce someone because of something that is not of his own making, that is quite insensitive, and so on. And there's so much negative we can talk about Pamela, because really I think the things to talk about him are very few that are positive. Kindly look at other adjectives that can also help you in the same. And also let's go to Asia Omondi, the wife to Professor Kimani. One thing that stands out is that she's materialistic and selfish. She gets married to Newborn Walombo because of his money. And as much as she's trying to defend that and say, no, it's not about money, we know the reason why she went is about money. And she's insensitive. How do you leave your husband when you're mourning the loss of your wife, your child? And then she's also dishonest. She will not tell the truth. She will not say, it is true. The reason I'm walking out of you is because I want a better life. For 30 years, you have not given me that life, so I want want to look for it. I mean, she goes around and makes Professor Kimani feel like he's the one who is actually making a mistake. That evening when they're having that discussion in bed, actually, it's like guilt tripping him and making him feel like, why would you say something like that about me? Really, and I'm not like that. She's that way. And so sarcastic also, and spiteful. She is one person who is, the way she talks to the husband, very sarcastically, and you can see that the spite she has towards the husband, even talking about the car and comparing the husband with the old car that does not go, that's not moving. So you also like your car, which is not moving, is not going anywhere. I think that is disrespectful, actually, to say the least, and so on. And so, just like I said, allow me not to go into the details of the same. Find time and look at that. I am not very sure if I want to go into the presidents, and because they're not minor, so to speak. The other characters like the president, that is the host president. We also have Nick Sentinel. I would want you to take a minute and have a look at that. I would want you to have a look at the chair of the meeting. That is Miniko Menkiti. That's a character I would want you to have a look at. And also just have a look at President Bangaora, Didier Bangaora, and who is the chair of the method committee. How would you describe him? And President Wasiwasi Wasinga and Wasiga, and what kind of a president is he? How would you describe him? And all these words, I am not in a position to go into the details in the interest of time, but I want to hope that you will find time with the adjectives that are provided for you. Just see where you can, and as long as you understand the text, it's very possible for you to be able to pick that. The president, Bibo Dibonso, just find out what kind of a president is he. And there's also another president, that is Simba Ibarosa. There's also President Gamlozi. All those presidents, if you can just find time at your own time, just have a look at them, you'll be able to come up with a very good analysis of all those characters. And allow me not to go through that in the interest of time. But let me just say something. As far as this characterization is concerned, that one of the things that you must ensure is that whatever it is you're giving as the word must be an adjective, and I think I had said that. Try to go out of your way, make the dictionary your friend. Find a way of, even if you really don't want to use the dictionary, just nowadays we even have the phones, and but I always encourage, use the hard copy of the dictionary. Even just learn how to just flip through those pages and come up with the words. I encourage you, like those words that I've given you there, the comment section, why don't you just take your book and take your dictionary and write down the meanings of those words? You know, when you do that, you're increasing your capacity and vocabularies, even not just for these texts or even the other textbooks we are dealing with, that is the Parliament of Owls, the Samaritan, the Silent Song, and so all that. It's not just for literature purposes, but even for your own personal consumption, that even when you're discussing with someone or talking out there, you will be able to use those words very comfortably, because it goes beyond the classroom. It goes beyond the you know what we are having, and you're able to just improve your language, your spoken language, your written, and so on. So I encourage you, just go out of your way and find those words. Even search Google, and you will come across so many of them. That way, when you do that and you check the meanings of those words, you will have a huge wide range of words you can use. Sometimes I realize that we have the thoughts, we know what we want to say. The problem is the adjective, and that can only be your work. I may not be able to help you. No teacher will help you on that. Only you can do that for yourself. And because that is why you're here, why don't you just go ahead and do that? And therefore, I want to stop it at that. I know I have rushed that on characterization, but it's the best I can do right now, because if we decide to go into the details, now that will take us hours and hours, and really we do not have time for that. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for following up. And I hope that if you have any question, if you have any concern, reach out, talk to us on our number, talk to us on our WhatsApp, talk to us. I mean, just find a way, even in the comment section. We will be willing to help you. And thank you very much for listening. Remember to subscribe and to share with your friends. Asante.